that bar element, we don't normally get spare pieces that big. Hello there, I'm Mouldy, and the footage you're about to see is from Saturday's live stream. Be sure to check it out on the end screen if you're interested, but most importantly, enjoy the video. Ezra in the middle. Interesting how Ezra isn't holding his lightsaber, so maybe Ezra flies better without it. We're going to go off the book here, but Ezra in the middle. Ahsoka and Thrawn are dueling it out. This is a really cool feature, as you can see, with the characters wobbling without having to touch the base. Oh, and that isn't meant to happen, but that is not the same that can be said about this middle circle here. You do have to manually spin it, but it gives you a bit more leeway. Anyway, with Ezra, when we looked at the final duel from Revenge of Return of the Jedi, this play feature didn't work with Luke, and it took a couple attempts to get Luke to hit where you wanted him. But, well, I was expecting it to flick off one way or the other. It kind of just goes up. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like Ezra's meant to be flying forward. All right, let's stick the hands out and see if we can off-center his balance. No, Ezra just seems to fly up. Okay, let's have him lean forward. How are we going to get this to work? Maybe just lean him as far forward as he can go. Yeah, this play feature doesn't seem to be working too well. It just seems to fly up. Anyway, we'll move on from that. You know, that's one of the play features that we've got. We do have these little turntables which can, with the blades colliding, actually move around the character in the middle. So we've got Morgan Elsbeth in the middle, and you can see with Ahsoka fighting Morgan Elsbeth, it is interacting with the character in the middle. So what do we think of this set? Well, I quite like this. Having built the recent duels over the last couple of days, if you're unaware, I do have videos on the channel building all of the last duels. I think this feels more of a diorama than a playset. This doesn't feel like a playset. Lego probably knew that when building it, which is why they've given us these little play features of Ahsoka and Thrawn turning at the minute on the two different turntable elements, which is nice parts to get. Again, this isn't a parts pack, but it is fairly nice to get. The pillars with the stickers, 2 stickers on each, I really don't mind that. The flooring, could we have got better work for the flooring? Well, I can't help but think these lines could have been sorted out, but as we were getting the round gold lines anyway, they might have seemed a bit too thick. So I'm happy we did get the stickers for this. One thing I will say is, could we have just got the golden lines? Because these grey stickers are quite thick for just that gold line. Could we have got these maybe even printed? 4 round elements, 8 2x4s, which they print for road tiles. We probably could have got these printed, and then they could have used those in some other city sets or tried to sneak them in places that we wouldn't have noticed. But yeah, the stickers were unavoidable for these 4 pillars. It's nice to see them a little different. These 2 are identical, so I can't help but think if you were to get 2 of these sets and then use the 2 middle pillars for the other side, it should look as it does in universe in Star Wars and in the Ahsoka show. It's a shame about this element not flicking, and I don't think there's anything we can do to save that. I don't think leaning Ezra one way or another will help, as I assumed Ezra would actually be flying off, you know, towards Thrawn's Chimera in universe. It just seems, because Lego haven't given us a Chimera, there's nothing to be jumping to. But you know what might be the problem? Ezra doesn't have Sabine to help him get across. So maybe if we put Sabine there and lean Ezra forward a bit, and no, I think Ezra's done for. Ezra is not making the Chimera. He's just going to fall off and perish. Another character. I do think instead of getting this Night Trooper, we should have got Enoch in this set. I think it would have been a fine addition to this collection. And honestly, the only thing to make this set better, we saw it with the Tantive. We got Vader, we got Antilles, and we got 2 of each troopers. So Lego do like adding troopers in sets. Maybe at the time, Lego themselves didn't know that they were going to be releasing a battle pack of these Night Troopers. But even then, wouldn't it be better to do the one that has a slim chance showing up? Or are Lego working on something and not telling us? Is Enoch about to come up in Star Wars again? It makes sense, being the right hand of Thrawn. He didn't leave him behind. He is going to show up at some point. Are we going to get a Thrawn Chimera when it does eventually show up? They could basically just reskin the Star Destroyer they've given us, but we're going to add Sabine. Maybe Thrawn should be just back here, hiding somewhat behind the pillar, ready to board his ship, get out of here. Ezra knows that. He's looking over, perhaps like launching himself, because the Lego set sure isn't. And then we've got Ahsoka battling Elsbeth. We'll give Sabine Ezra's saber because he doesn't use it in the show, and they can be squaring off. It would have been nice, actually, to have got a third turntable element out the front. It might have ruined the displayability or the purpose of display for this set, just having those few little teeth, kind of similar to how they did it at the side. It's hidden well with the black base, but we could have even had a specialized element or something that just goes back and forth hidden in this brick at the front. And I'll definitely be making a modification for, and that would have spun Elsbeth or even connected Elsbeth to one of these other display plates, so there is some sort of fighting. Because right now Elsbeth is just watching Ahsoka and Sabine try and attack, and it looks like they're being chained back on one of the posts. And then we do have this night trooper. In the fighting sequence, there was a night trooper that was like knocked out or otherwise against one of these pillars, so that does fit. And then we'll have Enoch watching from the other side, probably trying to get through to Thrawn. It's a really great minifigure, this Enoch, 360 print. And again, Floney clones if you do want to buy your own. But now I think this is the ultimate display. We've got all 6 named characters and a random night trooper. The one minifigure we're missing is the Night Death Trooper, which there were 3 that showed up in the Ahsoka show on top of this platform. And if there's only 1 included in the battle pack later this year, I might have to pick up 3. If there's 2 included, I guess I pick up 2, and then I'm not sure what I'd do with the third one. But it will be interesting to see if we get any battle packs as well from Andor. We see a few of these specialized troopers, which a few of you have let me know in the comments that they are meant to be some sort of specialized Imperial crew. So that'll be interesting seeing them. But they do look almost as wrapped up and damaged as these night troopers, a bit less so, but I'm really intrigued to see what is next for Ahsoka and what's next for Thrawn and the galaxy at large. I hope that Star Wars save Thrawn for a big bad later on, but I'm sure he'll be showing up again soon. This set was really, really fun to build. If you are interested in this, I do recommend picking this up. If you're interested in just picking up Thrawn, definitely, like I said, or any of these minifigures, have a look if you are able to part out, sell on the pieces, sell on the figures. And you know what? I would definitely consider buying that Night Trooper as well. So I'm sure if I would, there are a load of other people. The blade as well can be sold for, I'm sure, like £1 or 2. And this play feature is going to get old really fast. I don't think this is something I'll be playing with in a month's time. Maybe I'll be rebuilding this when the battle pack comes out. But for now, I'm very happy I've built this. And the minifigures are going to make a fine addition to my collection behind me, because that is where they're going. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this stream or the VOD if you're watching on demand. And may the bricks be with you always.